Hey, what up, YouTube? Welcome. Now, normally we do Madden videos or video game videos or gaming, right? But today, this one hurts. This one hurts. Just want to talk about the national championship last night, really. And just sort of get my thoughts out there. Whether they're good, right, wrong, bad, whatever it may be. Now, first off, shout out to Alabama for winning. They played great. Of course, they did. Best coach of all time. Pulling Jalen Hurts at halftime for Tua is just, the nuts to do that. And it worked. It worked so well. Tua played great. Saban played great. Alabama's defense just showed up in the second half, played amazing. Definitely Georgia got outcoached in the second half, 100%. But there was a lot of things in the game where I felt like they probably should have been different. Georgia had a lot of penalties where, like on the blocked punt, where I don't know if he was really offsides. Then there was where Fromm got hit in the head, didn't get called. And then there was on Alabama's tying touchdown where the receiver was clearly offsides. But nonetheless, even when there are penalties and when there are things, you want to blame the refs, you want to blame something, you still have to execute, right? And there was not the execution there for Georgia. And Alabama did execute the entire second half. They played great. And at the end of the game, Tua's pass was, the throw itself was amazing. The look off of the safety was amazing, but that was so much more a really, really bad play by the safety than anything else, in my opinion. He played. You're playing cover two. That's horrible. You're deep inside the hash. You've got your receiver on the outside, just streaking. Like, if the receiver, not the receiver, if the safety plays that better, right, gets a better jump on the ball. Not saying he necessarily intercepts the ball, but even if he breaks that up, you're talking about what, a 3rd and 26 now. And that's probably the game at that point, because Alabama's kicking game obviously was not very good. But there was a lot that went into it. It hurts. It hurts. Living in Georgia, we are used to the collapses. And this one's no different. To me, it doesn't hurt as bad as the Falcons one. But it still hurts. And it sucks, but very proud of Georgia, what they did all year. They can be back, honestly. They're losing a ton. Losing Roquan Smith, maybe losing someone like Lorenzo Carter, losing the running backs, right? It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. But I think they'll be back. They've got a great recruiting class coming in, which is very good. But this does set up Alabama, who they fully reload. And now they have a quarterback. And a lot of people think, well, where's Hurts going to transfer? I don't think Hurts is going to transfer personally. I think he's going to stay there. He's going to be a junior. He still might get some playing time with Tua there anyway. But they have a real good chance of making it back to the national title again next year, at least into the playoffs, right? Their out of conference is much weaker this year. Obviously, all the conference games, so they really just have to, hold fast within conference. They'll make it to the SEC championship game. That's the road for Alabama every year, except for this year, right? But it's going to be very interesting to see how this all plays out. It was two freshman quarterback dueling it out in an overtime game for the national title. That's crazy. Anyone who says they don't like college football is nuts after watching this game, and at least after watching the Rose Bowl last week as well. Awesome games. Huge fan of college football. Huge fan of college football. Especially, I'm in the South. I have to be, right? I know it stings. But Nick Saban's the best coach of all time in college. Just incredible. The way he recruits, the way he motivates these guys. You saw him actually smile last night. That was incredible to see. I'm always a fan of seeing the best versus the best, right? And I think we got that last night. I still would really like to see where Central Florida would have played into this. Getting to play either one of these teams at some point. Because we don't know how they would have done. Maybe Central Florida would have played absolutely amazing, right? Maybe they would have played amazing. Just, we don't know. We don't know. And I saw like the AP Top 25 came out and Central Florida was ranked like 5th or 6th today. And it's like, really? Really? Like, come on. Like, they went undefeated. You got to at least give them some sort of bump. They beat Auburn in the bowl game. Now I still feel Auburn was a little disinterested in that bowl game. You know, kind of being disappointed of where they could have been. But nonetheless, you still beat who's in front of you. That's all you can do. That's all Central Florida did. However, that's all a lot of these other teams do as well. We talk about strength of schedule. Say, who did Alabama play? Oh, they didn't play anyone out of conference, but they did play Florida State at the beginning of the year. We just didn't know that Florida State was going to be as bad as they were, but they were as bad as they were because Francois went down in the Alabama game. If he doesn't get hurt, maybe Florida State plays, maybe they're a 10-win team, and then nobody's talking about Alabama's strength schedule. So much to be said about all that, but college football's great. I had a great time watching the season. Support my teams. I always will. But Georgia fans, Atlanta, we are on to Philadelphia. Hopefully our Falcons can pull out a win this weekend. It's going to be tough, even without Wentz in there. Philly's got a good defense, and defense wins championships. Like, Wentz is obviously a scary player to play against with how well he's played. Foles not so much, but still having to move the ball against Philly is going to be difficult. I know Atlanta's favored, a road favorite in the playoffs, which is pretty odd, but it's going to be tough. And I still think that we're going to have to go through New Orleans if we want to make the Super Bowl, and that petrifies me, having to go on the road to New Orleans or go on the road to Minnesota. New Orleans is a really hard place to play, divisional rival, and then Minnesota, them playing at home potentially with the chance to go to the Super Bowl in their own stadium it's going to be hard. So if Atlanta wins, it sets up a really, really hard road for them. If Philly wins, then obviously whoever wins the Minnesota-New Orleans game is going to Philly, and I think whoever wins that, the Minnesota-New Orleans, is probably the Super Bowl representative for the NFC. Here's what it is, but I know maybe not everyone's going to watch this. Maybe not everyone's into college football. It's fine. If you're not into it, cool, I understand. But I'd just like to share my thoughts and my feelings with everything sports with you guys. I think that's more what this channel's about. Now, there's a lot of Madden, there's a lot of gaming, but I would like to include a lot of my own personal feelings, thoughts, opinions on the channel as well as we go forward. So if you guys do like something like this, even if it's not necessarily, hey, I like college football, but if you're like, hey, CC, you know, we like something like this. Maybe it's not college football, maybe it's NFL, maybe it's NFL playoffs, NFL draft, MLB, whatever it may be. Just hit the like. I appreciate it. I'm out. We'll be back for packs later.